strategy there on the squib?
Just try not to kick it, hit somebody. You know, he just hit a back kick. So we wanted to squib it down there and not give him a chance to return. We just didn't execute very well.
Your message to your team here up as you head into the second half to try to close it out?
It's going to be a four-quarter game. We knew that coming in. That's what we expected. We did a lot of things good the first half, but we also have a lot of things that we need to do better.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Maria.
All right, Kirby, coming into this game, we knew Oklahoma led the nation in total offense. Describe what you've seen from your defense in the first half.
Poor performance on our part as coaches. We didn't have these guys ready to play right now. The good news is we can still make some adjustments, come back, fight. Offense is keeping us in the game. We just got to tackle better. We got to stop the run, try to make them one-dimensional.
All right, we know Oklahoma gets the ball coming back out for the second half. What has been the message to the team, and what are you going to echo in the locker room?
Settle down and go play. Our guys playing a little nervous. They got to go out and play and relax, and got to get after the quarterback.
Thanks for your time.
Sooners scoring 5 of 6 possessions, no turnovers and no penalties. 655 yards in a wild first half as the Heisman Trophy winner has Oklahoma up by 14. End of the first half at Pasadena. Back to the studio after these messages.
Well, I mean, to be honest, absolute worst case scenario for Georgia in a lot of ways. I've been saying for the last month, Oklahoma's going to get their points. You're not just going to come in here and shut them down. They're going to get their points, but you got to get 2 or 3 stops per half against Oklahoma. We didn't get that. We stopped them one time, did hold them to a field goal another time, but that's not enough against an offense like Oklahoma. Shooting ourselves in the foot a little bit with some penalties, which has sort of been a recurring theme, unfortunately, this year for Georgia. If Baker Mayfield plays in the second half like he played in the first half, this game could be over in a hurry here. They get the ball to start the second half. Boneheaded move by Doogie Howser, a.k.a. Lincoln Riley, there at the end of the first half with that kick. That wasn't a good idea. You should have just kicked it off. What were the odds of? I don't know what he was thinking there. That was a bad move. So anyway, Georgia down by a couple of scores, and Oklahoma gets the ball to start the second half. Now, if you're a Georgia fan, like Uncle Lou is, and you're looking for something positive here going into the second half, there has been a couple of games this year where defensively we didn't play that good in the first half, and then we made some adjustments at halftime and came out and basically shut a team down in the second half. Now, under no scenario do I expect to completely shut Oklahoma down here in the second half, but if we can make some adjustments and play a little bit better on defense in the second half and get some stops, we got to get off the field on third down. Twice we had them on 3rd and long, 3rd and 10, and they burned us with 2 different screen passes for big-time yards. And listen, if you play good on 1st and 2nd down and you get a team like Oklahoma into 3rd down, you got to get off the field. You just have to. Now, there has been a couple of games we played this year, like I mentioned, where we didn't look so good in the first half. Made some adjustments, came out and played better defensively in the second half. In particular, I'm talking about Missouri and South Carolina. Now, obviously, Oklahoma's offense, way better than anything we saw with Missouri or South Carolina or any other team we played this year. Oklahoma is the best offense we've played. But the game is not over. But, you know, worst case scenario here for UJ. I mean, let's just be honest. You don't want to get into a shootout with Oklahoma. We had to have 2 or 3 stops per half. Been saying it for a month. You get only 1 stop in the first half. That's just not good enough against Oklahoma. Not getting off the field on 3rd down. Stat line for Jake Fromm. The stat line looks good. I think he's 11 for 15 or 11 for 16, something like that. Problem is, to play Oklahoma, the plan should be to slow this game down. I wanted to see a stat line on Fromm, something like 11 of 16 for the entire game, not the first half. Sony Michel, 2 rushes. Nick Chubb, 6 rushes. So we're not doing a good job of slowing the game down. 16 passes. 2 of the best running backs in America have a combined 8 carries. Nick Chubb 6 carries. Sony Michel 2 carries. I get it. Oklahoma was going up and down the field on us, so maybe we panicked a little bit offensively in terms of game plan. I just feel like we're throwing the ball around a little too much, and I've mentioned this before. Yes, I complained early in the year that we weren't throwing the ball enough, but I said about this game, forget about throwing it. Oklahoma can't stop the run. We should just line up and run the ball. I don't think 8 carries combined for Sony Michel and Nick Chubb is enough. You're not doing enough to keep Baker Mayfield on the sideline, which is really the only way to slow him down, is to keep him off the field. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't think the game is over, but the defense has got to play better in the second half, get off the field on third down, quit with the boneheaded penalties. I mean, you get a huge kickoff return out to almost midfield, and they call that back on a penalty. Oklahoma's first scoring drive, we had a stupid penalty that moved them down the field. You got to cut that stuff out. You're not going to win. You're not going to win games against elite teams like Oklahoma in the college football playoff by committing those stupid penalties. Defensively, I don't know what the answer is defensively. I mean, if Baker Mayfield plays in the second half like he played in the first half, I don't know if there's anything anybody could do with the way Baker Mayfield is playing right now. And if you, on top of that, you can't stop the run game. They're gashing you for 30 and 40-yard runs. I mean, you have no answer for anything. You got to get off the field on those third downs. So we'll see what happens in the second half. I still have faith in Kirby Smart and the defense to make the adjustments they need to make and come out and make this a game in the second half. But the defense is going to have to play a lot better, or this game's just going to get away from us. It's just that simple. Georgia's not built to win a shootout with a Heisman-winning quarterback like Baker Mayfield in Oklahoma. You got to slow the game down, run the ball. You're only 2 scores behind. Oklahoma gets the ball to start the third quarter. Let's come out, hold them, force a punt or a turnover, get the ball, go down and score. At that point, it would be a 1-score game, and we'll see what happens. But if you don't find a way to slow down this offense, then it doesn't matter what we do when we have the ball. It's not going to be enough. You're not going to play keep up with Oklahoma. You're just not going to do it. You're not going to win a shootout with Oklahoma. You can't run up and down the field with them. They're just going to beat you every time. So anyway, anger level, only about a 5 out of 10 right now. But anxiety level, about an 11 out of 10. Not going to lie. Not looking forward to having to drink this. If Georgia loses, I'm opening this 40-year-old bottle of Coke, 1980 Georgia National Championship Coke bottle. If Georgia loses, I'll be back on after the game. I'll crack that bottle open and drink it, because unlike some people that I know, Uncle Lou, man of his word. Yeah, anyway, go Dogs. We'll see what happens in the second half.